This meeting of the Commission meeting is considered open.
The date is,
And the date is September 17th. It is 6:38 p.m.
okay, let's call the meeting to order. Let's first do evacuations. There's a door to the right. And there's a door to the left, and there's also a door there. Easy access for us to get in and out. Who is present tonight is, wait, I'm gonna blow this, Deanna O'Brien. Is that okay?
Dina.
Dina, see, you told me, Deanna.
I said Dina.
Dina. I cannot get your name straight. I don't know what it is. Miles Provost.
Mhm.
Thomas Pendergast is absent, excused. And Josh Chase, staff is not present tonight. And Jerry Narkowitz is present. We're gonna waive all the readings of the past minutes. We're gonna leave that for the next date, as we don't have everybody here, so it wouldn't be possible to do that. So we're not gonna approve any minutes this evening. Lake updates. Let's see, let's talk about Lake Tioga. We are currently still testing. We're still shut down because of the algae blooms. Although I don't believe they're there right now, but they haven't been tested and verified through the Department of Environmental Management. The bacteria levels also were high last time, but I don't think they are high also now, but we haven't had any testing. So, and I don't know about Johnson's Pond, what they've come across and what's going on with them. And I don't know what's going on with Breezy Lake. Anybody got any information on either one of those lakes?
I haven't heard like any reports, like any shutdowns similar to Tayo,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna assume that
Yeah.
any,
I know Johnson's Pond had an algae breakout,
that, yes.
and I don't,
that,
and it was just over part of the
Mhm.
lake, not all the lake. So, that's 4.1. 4.2, possible grant applications. Anything in your,
just very briefly, I think right now is a bit of a
Yeah.
turbulent time
Yeah.
in terms of funding, both state and for federal. I know the state is doing a lot of, they just approved the new budget,
Mhm.
I believe September 1st.
Yep.
So we'll see where things land on that before we pursue any grant opportunities.
Okay. Lake recreational activities. We continue to have problems on Lake Tioga with jet skis. I was just watching a jet boat tonight, had to be going 70 to 80 miles an hour across the lake.
Still going out there even with the warnings?
Yeah, oh yeah, everybody, nobody pays attention to any of the warnings. So, the other recreational activities that are going on are pretty much shut down. So that, and I think that's true for all of the lakes in town. 4.4, sewer development. As far as I know, the thing that's most prevalent right now is connection for the high school.
That not
And
done yet?
I don't think it's done yet. I don't think it's done yet,
Well,
but it's getting there.
yeah,
That's the big one. 4.5, stormwater management, Upper Dam Pond. Think Tom told me things are moving along with his installation, and he hopes to have everything done this year, and we'll get some testing. Because I don't know if everybody realizes, but there's two major infalls into that lake. So one will have a treatment facility and one will not. So I've asked him to grab samples from the two at the same time and look to see the difference of what one gets with his treatment facility. So that's the hopes for next year. Forest management plan, fire safety, anything on that, Miles?
I don't think so. I remember we talked to the tree warden a few months ago and whatnot, and
Yeah.
I think our conclusion at the time and kind of still is that any any significant enforcement or change on that might not be possible right now, considering the resources available.
Lake Management Task Force, I'm not exactly sure what that means.
That was That was Tom's plan around getting
Oh, yeah.
the associations together.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with that, I remember talking about last time, let's see, if just real quick. Uh, Right, was that, who was it that was trying on the council? I believe the president?
Hillary Lima.
Yeah, she had mentioned something about, her plans, her existing plans for something similar.
Hmm.
I don't, obviously without Tom here, I don't know
Yeah, we
what
should
the,
probably hold that for Tom.
yeah, what the progress on that is.
Increased visibility and contact with other boards and commissions. I know Tom has been engaged with that. I've been appearing before the town council a lot, been involved with that. I, of course, am extremely disheartened by the fact that we're not allowed to look at plans. I think it would be so beneficial for you guys. And for me and for Tom, and that we could look at plans and we could talk about what's a good design, what's a bad design, what environmentally is a good method. And how we should direct boards. Appears there's some. We don't seem to be able to do that.
Were you, after last meeting, after the last meeting had concluded, me and John had been looking up the laws and guidance. I don't know if you had overheard that.
No.
The biggest thing that we found was pretty big, that I think it's the planning commission. I think it's the planning commission must inform the conservation commission of any upcoming projects.
And that would be a great thing to put in writing and give to the planning director.
Yes, that is part of Coventry's, not even bylaws, but like slash literal law.
That would be a great thing to put in front of the planning director. So maybe you could write that up and send it as an email. Could you copy all of us on it?
Yeah, I could do that.
I would appreciate that.
I'll be charitable and assume that it was because we weren't running for a while. That it may have, that guidance may have lapsed, and
Could be,
I'm trying to be charitable.
could be.
And
I'm not charitable at this point. I'm not, at all. I'm not. And I'm a really charitable person, and I'm not. 4.9, public access and the Coventry PD. Not sure exactly what that one's about.
well, kind of relating to the recreational activities, it was last time, no, it's been a while, but last time we were talking about how, especially with the idea of Johnson's Pond opening up.
Yep.
The unfortunate aspect that a lot of the recreational areas and public access areas in Coventry already existing are not patrolled, monitored, or kept safe.
Yep.
Let alone clean.
Yep.
And the idea of opening up Johnson's or even other locations to mass public access is a little, not confusing, but you can get what I'm trying to put down. And I'm not sure how we as a commission at this moment could move forward, but I definitely think Coventry as a whole needs some stronger police presence, activity, willingness to even just patrol occasionally areas like Tyoke with all the issues you've been seeing. We have had cleanliness issues over at the dam lakes. I can only imagine what Johnson's Pond would be like once that starts.
That will be interesting.
So if we want public access, we need to keep it accessible.
It ties in with this. The other evening, I heard somebody in the middle of the lake screaming. And it sounded like a frightful scream. And when male or female's voices go to a fright level, you can't always tell if it's a male or a female. The octave level goes up, so a guy could sound a lot like a woman. So I looked out across the lake. I couldn't see anybody, but I could hear it was approaching dark. So I called the police. And lo and behold, the police can really do not much about it because they don't have a boat on the lake. And it sounded like it was coming from out in the middle of the lake. And it was pretty scary as a human being to be worried about this. The police did come, they did ask me questions, and we discussed it. And they asked me the pertinent questions, kind of like what a lawyer would do. You know, was it a male? Was it a female? Was it coming from the left to the right, straight ahead? How far out do you think it was? Did it continue? How often was it? And, you know, I could give the best answers I could, but anybody who's been on a lake and you hear sounds, it's hard to predict where they're coming from. So that's a scary thing. You know, that's a scary thing in an open lake like that. There's no police boat out there.
Yeah,
There's no police boat on the lake.
I imagine then that's the same for Johnson's.
Right, well, I can imagine this happening in different parts of Johnson's Pond too. And it's just something I think we should at least consider from a standpoint of understanding how lake bodies get used for recreational usage. And we've had people out in the lake late at night and the police have come down and, you know, but there's no way to get them out of the lake if they're out in the middle. So just one of those things that, you know, it's kind of important. 4.10, Arkwright, Harris Riverwalk. Anybody go on that? Jamaica?
I'm not.
Yeah, I didn't do it either. New business for discussion and our actions, integration of stormwater management practices and construction work for the town. This is a Tom Pendergast one. So I'm gonna hold that. Future agenda items for November. Anybody got anything they wanna? Wonder why it says November 12th. Are we not having a meeting in October?
I believe we were. That might be an error on the.
Might wanna make note of that for Josh.
Yeah, I'll ask Josh.
You look at this one, I'll circle it, I'll give you mine.
Mind real quick. I just wanted to. I believe Tom had mentioned something. I just want to double check. We have so many. I mean, and you know, I'm not one to say let's massively inflate the town's budget on anything, but I do think at least getting, even if it's a surplus boat or something,
Yeah,
just especially if Johnson, again, if Johnson didn't want to open up Johnson's Pond,
right,
if you're telling me, not you, but you know, if the town is telling me that we can't have police presence out on a significant part of the Coventry Square area
right,
because it's out on water,
yeah.
yeah, a little.
I don't know what they could have done. I guess they could call the fire department and have the fire department bring their boat in, their inflatable boat. And put it out in the lake and go search for it, but it was dark, it was dark. It's a pretty good sized lake to go searching.
Right.
You know, I was really, it was funny, it really hit me. I realized how easily somebody could be out in the middle of that lake and not have, you know, not have the correct usage. I have a boat. I was like, I'm gonna go out in the boat and see if I can find them. But I was like, how am I gonna find them out there?
Right. But an actual police vessel with like search license stuff could
Yeah.
at least potentially help.
Right.
The fact that there isn't something like that is a
Right.
little,
Yeah, it's a little disheartening.
like I'm trying to think of other, besides like Situate.
Yeah.
We have probably one of the higher freshwater, at least,
Yeah,
areas in Rhode Island.
yeah,
And that we don't have that the police don't have access to those areas for any kind of enforcement.
right.
And not just for recreational, you know, people on speedboats, annoying and unsafe,
Yeah.
but is one thing, and then there's another one you hear screams at.
Right. So Tom sent me a letter today. And he didn't authorize me to read it, so I'm not gonna read it. But he's very concerned that we're not able to look at things
Mhm.
in this. So, and I'm not sure where we're gonna go with it. I'm not sure how it's gonna be addressed in the future, but he's very, you know, you wanna have value when you come here. You wanna have value. And I feel like I could be a really good teacher for you guys. I know a lot of this material, as does Tom. And it seems a shame that we're not able to do that. So he's really, really concerned about it. So I'm not sure. He has drafted a letter and he will be submitting it to the town council. So, you know, I'm guessing you'll learn about it then. So we'll leave it at that. I don't want to divulge it. It's not my place to divulge his letter. He sent it to me to ask me if I would look it over for him. So we'll leave it at that, but he's very concerned about the way this runs. So,
Do you, now, on a similar vein, do you want me to draft and send a letter over to, I'll double check the books.
Yeah.
See which commission it is that needs to let us know,
yeah,
but sending a letter to them saying, hey, you need to let us
Yeah.
know when you're doing.
I would love you to do that. Send it to Doug, to
Mhm.
Josh, and have all of us copied on it. And also to the, if it's planning, to the planning board. I think that's, you don't mind doing that?
I don't mind.
Great. Maybe it'll give us a little bite of the apple, this kind of stuff. So, okay. Anything else? Nice, right. Expectancy say good Dutch. So I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Right,
It is
6:55 p.m.
5.
all right, I will second that.
Excellent.
Adjourn.
Currently adjourned.